We lost a legend in the rap game, a true legend in the rap game. Somebody I would refer to as a lyrical genius. You know, one thing I like about DMX, he reminded me of the streets in Jersey. Even though he was born in Baltimore, he kind of reminded me of a Jersey dude. But everybody keeps saying that money can't buy you happiness. Well, if that's the case, then why so many people pursuing happiness by way of money? If money can't buy you happiness, then why pursue money? Well, maybe something else is going on that we don't know about. Gangster talk up next. Let's talk about it. Dane. Powerful, man. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Welcome to this early morning edition of Gangsta Talk. Man, there's a few things I want to say about what transpired. Another genius gone, another engineer, another innovative black mind gone. You see, let me explain something to you, right? What they do to our geniuses, if they can't snatch them outright to make them work for them, they put them in a area that they created for them called the ghetto, a mental state of mind, right? And they feed them hip hop and all kinds of poison, give them stuff to blow up their nose, shoot in their veins, so they can go crazy, so they can get addicted and chase that demon around until they die. This man was an incredible lyricist. Let me explain something to you. What a lot of these guys can do is not easily done. All right. And so our engineers, our innovators get the short end of the stick. You see, we are very, very, very innovative at young ages. They come at us when we're young. They come to get our prodigies, our child stars, our child superstars, and they find ways to neutralize them, taking the cream of the crop for themselves. And the ones that are rebellious, they leave in the ghetto or the hood, and they control them mentally. They get them high off drugs, turn them on to drugs, lie to them and tell them that the lifestyle that they're about to live is a utopia. And they fall for it because they want to be different. They want to get out of poverty. Mr. Simmons, like a lot of our geniuses, unfortunately, come from broken families. When you look at how this works out for white supremacy, it works out beautifully. Broken families make it easy for them to come into the home where there is no father, where there's no guard dog, and just snatch our geniuses right in front of our faces. And like I said, the ones that they can't make work for them, they leave in the hood and promise them a utopian life, hooked on drugs. They say that money can't buy happiness. If that's the case, then why pursue money? Why make money? It can't make you happy. So why make something? Why have something in abundance if it doesn't make you happy? That doesn't make any sense, does it? But we don't see it that way because many of us are regurgitators and we're monkey see and monkey do. We don't think for ourselves anymore. Common sense has gone out the window. Signs of original thought has escaped many of us. There's too many signs out there that we no longer think on our own. We no longer use our brain. So whatever's put out there for us is what we follow. It's what we regurgitate. It's what we pass around from one black person to the other black person, to the other black person, to the other black person. I want you to think about something for a second. All you pseudo scholars who swear you know something, who just regurgitate whatever the white man puts out there for you to regurgitate. Riddle me this. What kind of sense does it make to pursue money if it can't make you happy? Come on, you've all said it. You've all heard it. Money can't buy you happiness. Isn't that what we say when we see these stars lose their minds? People who seemingly have it all, they have what many of us don't have. They got the fly cars, they got the big homes, they own property, got big money in the bank, a lot of zeros, a lot of digits in the bank. Got the cars, money, house, clothes, prestige, freedom to fly anywhere in the world on a moment's notice, private jets. So, how come they aren't happy? Well, many of us don't go beyond that or go under the surface of that. We just say, well, money can't buy happiness, and then we just keep it moving. Okay, if money can't buy happiness, then why are so many people hell bent on making so much of it? Why would you go out and make a lot of something that doesn't make you happy? I mean, honestly, let's think about that for a second. Let's use common sense. What would make you happy right now? If something would make you happy, you want an abundance of it because it makes you happy. Let me show you how simplistic this is. And I keep telling people life is about simplicity. All of this complicated shit is just a smoke screen to keep you mentally confused. So, if something makes you happy, you want a lot of it. You want to pursue it. You don't want it out of your sight. You want it with you at all times because it makes you happy. Now, if something doesn't make you happy, why in the world would you pursue it? Why in the world would you have an abundance of it? I mean, we do things every day, right? We say, okay, I don't like this, so let me leave that alone. That would be the natural reaction of something that you don't like or something that's not good for you, right? You will leave it alone. But for some reason, we won't leave money alone, right? But money doesn't buy us happiness. But we break our necks trying to earn money and as much money as possible every single day, even though it doesn't buy us happiness. Now, why is it that we're willing to sacrifice the fact that money doesn't buy us happiness? Why we're willing to sacrifice not being happy and being miserable and ultimately blowing up at the end? Why do we do that? Come on, you've seen this over and over and over again. This isn't a new story. A talented black person who was a millionaire get caught up, get drugged out, and all of a sudden either kills over or finds some way to kill his or herself, or someone kills that person, right? So if this is the case, why is that person pursuing something that doesn't make that person happy? What kind of sense does that make? The problem with DMX, one of the problems I got with what happened with DMX is this. It's all too easy for black people to get caught up in this kind of stuff. And we keep falling for it over and over and over again. Again, one of our black geniuses gone. The only thing that we have to say about it is the fact that money couldn't buy him happiness. I mean, think about what that sounds like. This man had a ton of money, but he wasn't happy. Anybody got a problem with that? I mean, is it about time we try to figure out what the hell's going on with that? That can't be the answer every single time we watch a famous black person go down for the count, go down for that 10 count. We got to figure out why these people are unhappy and why, no matter what kind of money they have, they can't achieve happiness. Why do you think that is? Well, I'll give you my opinion on why I believe that's happening. It's because someone is purposely making sure that they never be happy, regardless of how many assets they have, regardless of their financial status, regardless of their social status or public status, whatever. There's something that is purposely making sure that these people stay miserable to the point where it's going to cost them everything. There are things and people working in their lives to make sure they stay miserable. Because, and the reason why this is so significant with us is because we are very dangerous people. We are very innovative. We are extremely creative. We are super talented. We can make something out of nothing. Think about what I just said. We can make something out of nothing. Now, people poo poo that, or people just throw that to the side like it don't mean nothing. But I assure you, having the ability to make something out of nothing is nothing short of remarkable. And black people, we are a remarkable people. So everything is so everything is extra when it comes to us. All hands are on deck when we show up. So extra attention is paid to us to make sure we never rise because we have the ability to take over this entire planet if we finally link together and put our minds together. So that's the kind of danger that we pose. That's why so much emphasis is put on us, even to the smallest degree. You can have two people commit the same crime, right? You can have an Asian person, a white person, commit the same crime as a black person, but they're more focused on that black person than the Asian and the whites because they don't want the blacks to get a foothold anywhere. They can't afford us to get a tiny foothold anywhere in this country because it would spell doom for them. Now I'm aware of the Neely Fullers. I'm aware of the Francis Cress Welsings. I'm aware of all of these people. I understand their logic. But there's something else I see out here too. I see the natural ability for us to create, which scares the hell out of other people. I see an ability that we have naturally that other people do not have, or other people have to work to achieve. DMX, think about this. All that money he had, all that fame, the man's name is world renowned. How is it that he couldn't be happy? Does that give anybody any pause? How can you have tens of millions of dollars and not be happy? It's time we start thinking about stuff like that, right? Let's don't just settle for, well, money can't buy you happiness. That's not enough. I don't accept that answer anymore. Why can't money buy you happiness? How the hell are you not happy? You got tens of millions of dollars. You can do whatever you want, buy whatever you want, go wherever you want. How the hell are you on? How are you not happy? If I had $10 million, I'd be a happy motherfucker. The hell you mean? I'm not happy. You damn right I'm happy. I can do whatever the hell I want. So how is it that you're not happy? I always wondered about this, okay? Like, money can't buy you happiness. Then why make the money? Why are you making something that's ultimately going to make sure you aren't happy and something that's going to keep you unhappy to the day you give up and take your own life or it gets you smoked or something else that's bad? Well, why pursue something that's going to turn out bad for you? And you know it's going to turn out bad for you because it can't make you happy. So if that's the case, then what is the use for it? It can't make you happy. No, I think something else is going on here. Just a smoke screen for people interfering in these people's lives. And then listen, you also have black people who are working with white supremacy, like Iyanla, right? She puts black people's dysfunction on display. And black people keep falling for it, thinking that she's doing a service for black people. She's not doing a service for black people. She's just exposing the inner workings of a black family and the dysfunction of a black family for the purpose of study. There are doctors and scientists, white scientists, who study these programs. They study our behavior to see where we are, to see if we mentally progress, to see if we done found a loophole, or to see if certain things are working on us, to see if certain things aren't working on us. That's the purpose of these shows. And you think the person who is black, because that person is crying with you, dark skin, and they're saying things like, yeah, well, when they were young, their mama didn't do this and their mama didn't do that. And for some reason, you don't think they're a sellout. And so they put you on display and show the world how dysfunctional you are. And they also show these people who are studying us what's working and what isn't working and what condition, the mental condition the person is in. This is incredible information. You see, because they got this thing, if it affects one black person, it will affect all black people. So they get this vital information off of one black person, and they believe that they can spread that information to the rest of us. That's the purpose of these shows. That's why Iyanla has her show. Her show doesn't serve any purpose for black people. Her show works for white supremacy. Same thing with Vlad, DJ Vlad, right? Look at all of the interviews this guy got despite everybody black. How the hell does all these famous black people end up on this white boy show? Anybody ever question that? I mean, some of these people, nobody can get an interview with, but they go on Vlad's show. I ain't seen Samuel Jackson do an interview with no damn body. But he was on Vlad. So, DMX. People can sit up here and say, well, we saw it coming. Well, if you saw it coming, why didn't you do something about it? People love to talk after the fact, right? It's kind of like them guys who always say they got boots on the ground when there's a crisis, but you don't never see any real evidence of that. People will tell you now, well, you know what? We saw this coming. We saw DMX going off the rails. All right, well, why didn't you do something about it? Did you reach out to the brother? Did you say, hey, man, I see you going off the rails? Did you contact one of his handlers? Did you contact one of his peoples? You know, if you didn't do anything, okay, to try to save the brother, don't sit up here and try to talk like you actually had some involvement or you knew what was going on because you don't and you didn't. That's what you hear a lot of people talking about now. Well, I saw this coming. Now he's nothing but a talking point for some clicks and views. I saw this coming, man. I saw it. Well, why didn't you do anything about it? Why is it that you want us to hear you say now you saw it coming because you're getting clicks and views? But when you saw it coming, why didn't you do a show telling me, hey, I see my man DMX going off the rails, so I'm reaching out to his family, trying to see what I can do to help the brother. Where was that show at? See, all you phonies doing these podcasts now, talking about you knew DMX, talking about you've seen this before, and you knew that brother was going to end up this way and that way. Well, why didn't you try to do something to help the brother? If I could have did something to help the brother, I'd have did it. I'm not out here. I'm not here to tell you I saw it coming. I don't know what I saw. I've seen a lot of stuff. I'm not sure what's what. But according to some of you cats, you saw it coming. You knew what it was. As far as you're concerned, it was just a matter of time. All right, if that's the case, then how come you didn't do anything about it? That's all I want to know. Okay, we got all these internet pundits, including the Mansfields, calling them a drug addict and stuff. Look, addiction is a powerful thing. Once you trick the mind and believe in something, right, and that belief has some kind of real substance behind it, man, it's hard to get the mind to let go. Just ask people who've been smoking. Ask people how hard it is to quit smoking. That nicotine is a drug. I can testify to that. That 7 day shit didn't work on me. I was really addicted to nicotine. It took me a while. So I don't talk crazy about nobody's addiction. I know addiction is a real thing. But my whole thing is about my man X. It's a shame. How is it that a man of his caliber couldn't find any happiness? And that's why I keep hearing people talking about, well, he wasn't happy. He wasn't happy. Okay, well, why? I want to know why people like him aren't happy. We need to start getting down to the bottom of why superstars like this aren't happy. Something is making them that way. We got to find out what it is. We can't just sit up here and keep saying, well, you know what? Money can't buy you happiness. All right, well, that's not helping anything out. We need to know why a man who made tens of millions, whose name is world renowned, which is no mean feat within itself. Having a name that is world renowned, that's something that's on another level. So how is it a man that has this kind of status got white people calling him a legend? How is it that beautiful dogs, beautiful woman, children, cars, prestige? How is it? How is it that he's not happy? How? I'm going to need to know a little bit more than, well, money doesn't buy you happiness. I'm sorry, I'm gonna need a little bit more than that. That doesn't do anything for me. I need to know why this multimillionaire who has ridiculous prestige, got cars and toys all over the place, beautiful homes, own properties, businesses, world renowned name, died unhappy. Why is he unhappy? Is it really him being unhappy, or is he addicted to these demons? Or did he get addicted to these demons? And if he got addicted to these demons, then that means that there was some force in his life working against his happiness. Which is what I mentioned earlier, right? What they do to our geniuses and our innovators, if they can't stop them from becoming famous and powerful, they make sure they stay in their life to cause nothing but mischief and misery at every turn. To do what? To keep them unhappy, to keep them unsettled, to keep them feeling empty inside. It's kind of like what Doc Holliday said in Tombstone when he talked about Johnny Ringo. He said a man like Johnny Ringo got a great big empty hole right through the middle of him, and he could never kill enough to fill it. He could never hurt enough or kill enough to fill it. That's kind of like what's going on here. You see, you got a multimillionaire with a world-renowned name, and you got something in his life that's causing a great big empty hole right through the middle of him, and he can never rap enough, have enough children, buy enough cars, take enough pictures, do enough good things to fill it. So how is it that someone like this isn't happy? And why do we keep saying the same thing every time something like this happens to one of these stars, right? I'm hearing prominent, so-called prominent people on YouTube, people who have scholars and have educational backgrounds, that go on for miles, saying trivial shit like, well, money can't buy you happiness. Really? That's the best your PhD can come up with? Don't you have a PhD in all kinds of English or some shit? And the best you can come up with is, well, money can't buy you happiness. I'm 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 done with that, peoples. I need more than money can't buy you happiness. Why money can't buy you happiness? Why? What is stopping money from buying you happiness? And if money can't make you happy, then why have it? What are you having it for? It can't make you happy. Well, people say, well, we need it to live. Well, apparently your life is not, you're not happy. It's not making you happy. Your life isn't getting any better. I don't understand. Now help me out here. I don't have all of the PhDs, right? Like you guys do. I don't have a vocabulary that goes on forever. I don't speak words that have 12 syllables in them. I don't come up with otherworldly phrases and catechisms. Keep it very simple for me. You know how they say, keep it simple, stupid. Explain it to me. How was that a man like that with that kind of prestige, that kind of, and he's not happy? You got to be kidding me. I don't believe that. There's something else going on here. I do not believe that that man wasn't happy. I believe that that man was very happy. I believe something else happened to him. And it's been happening to a lot of our stars over decades. They get into their lives and they ruin their lives from the inside out. They cause misery, mischief in these people's lives, turn these people on to drugs. Think about this, right? What makes a person constantly get high almost all the time? I remember I watched a person that was strung out on cocaine, carried one of them personal silver things that they stick up their nose and they can snort their cocaine. Man, I'm talking about like every 5, 10 minutes sniffing that thing. And I'm not exaggerating. Every 5 to 10 minutes sniffing that thing. I mean, what? I mean, all I can speak from is a nicotine addiction. Now, that's the addiction I can talk about because I was addicted to nicotine. You know, nicotine makes you want to, um, it makes you want to, it's more of an action than anything like cerebral. It makes you want to do something over and over again. Okay, so once you smoke nicotine, right, that movement get locked into your head somehow. And you just want to keep doing it. It's hard to explain, man. It's a little bit hard to explain. Even when I stopped smoking, it took me another whole month to stop doing the habit of having my two fingers come up to my lips. It took me a minute to get rid of that too. I was doing that by muscle memory, like force of habit, constantly with the two fingers coming up to the lips because the two fingers was used to having a cigarette in between them. I told y'all when I went to get some help, and the people I went to called me a drug addict. When I told them what I was going through, they told me I was going through withdrawal. And it blew my mind. I'm like, what you mean withdrawal? I'm not a drug addict. They said, yes, you are. I was like, what? They called me a drug addict. But that's the only addiction I can speak from. I've never been hooked on heroin, cocaine, or any of them other drugs, crack. So I don't know about those addictions. You know, that whole lifestyle, that music lifestyle is no good. Yeah, you make the money, but they make sure you lose that money by feeding you drugs, feeding you a life of poison. They make sure you don't live long enough to enjoy that money. They make sure that your fame and your fortune is a consequence to you at the end of the day. It's a consequence. You're going to pay for that fame and fortune. They make sure it's a consequence. OD, 50 years old, still doing drugs. Well, actually, low brain. Well, like I said, they make sure it's a consequence. I still don't know how you're not happy when you have all of that. And what the hell are you doing drugs? You're the same thing with Rick James, man. I'm like, dude, you like 90 some years old. You still doing coke? Man, what the fuck? Like I don't. Okay, like I said, I can only speak from having once been addicted to nicotine. I know addiction is strong. Okay, and if I didn't fight my demons, I probably would still be smoking. But I mean, cocaine. I mean, hardcore drugs like cocaine and heroin. Man, you 90 years old, you still snorting. I mean, I I don't know if I'd have been doing that because the way I found help, to stop smoking, I would have had to do something about that too. Not gonna be 95, snorting coke. Yeah, I'm not doing that. I'm not gonna be 60, doing crack. Not doing that. So, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I mean, they had pacemakers and what is it about that white demon, man, that they just keep chasing? Still got pacemakers, smoke, he's snorting. I mean, DMX 50. I mean, dude, it's bad, but it's a shame to see him go because he was a genius, y'all. You ain't gonna see another one like him for a while. Not to say that the black woman won't produce another genius, but you ain't gonna see nothing like him for a while. He was something special. See, we don't look at our geniuses the way we don't recognize our geniuses because we look at ourselves the way white people look at us. We see ourselves the way white people see us. That's why we don't recognize all our geniuses. We only recognize the ones that fit white standards. And we're afraid to set our own standard. And we have to start being, I feel sorry for us because we're so drama driven now. If we're not into the drama, we it's just sad what's happening to us. We're turning into a people that only care about the latest gossip or the latest hot news. That's all we care about. And we don't have a pot to piss in or a window to throw it out, and people just don't seem to have any issue with that anymore. It's like we've given up. Like, okay, well, you know what? We are messed up, and that's the way it is. So let me go and get this drama. Let me go get my drama on. If when somebody's talking about something important, maybe a solution, we're not even paying any attention. We're not even interested because he's not speaking any drama. I sat up in here and talked about yesterday. I sat up in here and talked about um what was it? I did something called um it had to do with love. I can't remember exactly what the title was. Um Uh, but anyway, I talked about the love that we were supposed to have for our parents, ourselves, for our women. Talking some real positive stuff yesterday. Ain't nobody even want to talk about it. Nobody want to hear that. People came in and started talking about other stuff. You know, start talking about juicy stuff. Ignore what I was talking about and just got into it about some drama or some stuff that they heard on the street. And I don't say nothing because people are people, and I don't want to make somebody pay attention. I want you to pay attention because you're listening, and it's something that you want to do. I don't want to make nobody do anything. If you got to make somebody do something, and that's not the person you roll with, you want somebody paying attention on their own because they're interested in what's being said. And we got to stop that, man. We got to stop with the hopelessness. We got to stop thinking that we can't do anything. You know, if we were hopeless people, then there wouldn't be this great, massive effort to hold us back. If for anyone to say ain't nobody holding us back, right? That's that doesn't make any sense. Okay, that doesn't make any sense because there's plenty of things that are out here that's holding us back.
All right. All right. Little network problem, but yeah, I don't get why they got this idea that black women hold black men back. I don't know where that came from. But apparently that mentality was way back then. If you was some kind of star. Oh, I'm sorry about that, y'all. And but that's the beginning of the divide because black women are to support them as the mother, support them as the wife, the woman, uh, making it easy for the man to go out there and do what he got to do, knowing that um, his woman, his mother, his um, people got his back. Yeah. But instead, what that Max said, Master P had said something about DMX hospitalization could have been prevented. He said we need a hip hop union to support our artists uh, like this. Um, when they're in trouble, there's no support. The sports have support. There's the actors and there's different other unions, but there's none for the artists. So when they fall back or they're in trouble, you know, to help them out. And I said, okay, that's an interesting take. A union for the hip hop artist industry. But in that case, let's not go Pacific hip hop. Uh, Um, also do all our black music industry because our people have a long history of being taken advantage over their talents, and that's the way they like it. Why you think there is no union? Uh, they make too much money to taking advantage to the union. Okay, so your artists have an addiction. You either maintain the addiction so you can get what you need out of them, or you addict them so they come in more for you for the drugs than for the money. Our people was too busy calling him a crackhead instead of helping him get that monkey off his back. Yeah. And then the worst part about it is his mentor was the one that originally got him addicted. We talked about lacing the cigarettes. Hey, Xander, konnichiwa. I'm hoping that means you're in Japan. Um, yeah, is is oh, which is basically what I was thinking was his mentor saw his talent and wanted to have him tied to him with the drug. You think the music industry haven't been doing that? How many of our artists has been addicted to drugs that they didn't start off that way? But by the time their career is over with, they're addicted to drugs. Or if they legendary, um, they still able to perform and be talented. It's the legendary ones that could still pull and do things even while they got this monkey on their backs, this addiction, which unfortunately encouraged the music industry to keep doing that same trick. Get your artists hooked on the drug or hooked on the alcohol. Keep them off of it long enough to do what he do. Uh, Frankie Lyman. Oh, I hadn't heard that name in years. Max, you back?
Yeah, I'm back.
All right.
See, my whole problem with this thing is that, we just keep being sold a bill of goods and we believe everything we're being told. And so when they pick these people off right in front of our face, we go with what they tell us. You know, you know how many people I heard say the other day, money can't buy you happiness, and that's their idea of what happened. That's the end of it as far as they're concerned. Money can't buy you happiness. No, we need to go a little deeper than that. Why is it a man of that caliber not happy? You know how hard it is to not be happy when you have tens of millions of dollars? People seem to think that it's so easy to be unhappy when you have a lot of money. Apparently, people who believe that don't have a lot of money and probably have never had a lot of money. I mean, when you get that kind of money, I don't know how you're not happy, you know. And they cover up for the fact that there are people in your lives, you got people in your lives inducing unhappiness, causing you to become addicted on bad things or things that's going to make you miserable, drug addiction and things of that nature. I don't think he was unhappy before he had. Who said that? Who said he was? I don't. You see, we got to understand something here, right? How are you judging Unhappiness. See, that's what I'm talking about. We're being sold the bill of goods. What makes you think that that man was unhappy before he had money? Because he talked about his life before he had money. He never sounded like he was unhappy. I mean, he didn't like certain situations. But I remember him mentioning that he said, I remember him mentioning he was unhappy, especially when he got to that second group home to where he learned, to where they uncovered his talent. And anyway, just because you're unhappy, who says that that's a death sentence? Now, a 14-year-old, right? The mind of a 14-year-old is much different than an adult. 14-year-olds then get caught up in something all of a sudden, they can like what they're caught up in. Well, that may not be a happy situation for you or me, but as a 14-year-old, things change rather quickly. You can be happy 1 minute, and the next thing you know, he's making a little bit of money, he's got a girlfriend, and he's happy. He's 14. I mean, I don't know if it's an unhappy situation. We can look at it and say, well, it's not a good situation that we want a teenager to be in. I'm still trying to figure out who said being unhappy is a death sentence. Who said unhappiness leads to death? Where's that written at that unhappiness leads to death, leads to suicide? People who are unhappy, they just take their lives. And you also got to understand too, right? When you say abuse, because when they describe us, they make sure they say the worst things possible to make us look as bad as possible. So when you say he was abused by his mother, whatever, I need to know who's telling that story. Is it somebody white telling you that story? DMX telling you that story? Who's telling you that story? Okay. I need to know who's telling that story before I start talking about somebody's black as being abusive. Yeah, but for like I said, for a 14-year-old, things change real quickly. Things happen from one moment to the next. They're 14, they're on the street. Once they understand their situation, it is what it is. What do you mean you said, Xander? Huh. Only the individual can let go of childhood traumas. Also, daily fighting and drug addiction. I'm not judging, just looking at facts. All right, okay. See, the problem I have with all that stuff right there, do you know that that's what he's experiencing? You know that for sure? This is what I mean by regurgitating. We regurgitate a lot of stuff that we hear. But do you know if that's what he's suffering from? Do you know that's what's bothering him for sure? Do you know that he hasn't let go of childhood traumas? Do you know if he's fighting all the time? I've never heard anything to where it told me that he was fighting all the time. I know he likes dogs. I never seen anything that said he was fighting all the time. And if there is something saying he was fighting all the time, who was he fighting? And as far as the drug addiction, we don't know how long he's been addicted to drugs. Yeah, so I just want to know. See, that's my whole problem with this. With just repeating what we hear other people say because we think that they know something. We don't know what he is fighting. We don't know what his demons are. We don't know if he's, you know, never let go of childhood. We don't know that. I know I don't know it. I mean, if you know it, throw up some evidence of it so we all can know it. Because I don't know that. Like I said, we have to be careful with this kind of stuff. Listening to people who we think have credibility and they throw these things out and then we're repeating them and we don't have the real truth and then we cap it off by saying facts when they are not facts. You know, like where is a legitimate statement or some kind of medical something saying that he's fighting childhood trauma? Where's that at? And what's this about daily fighting? Fighting on a daily basis with who? Now, the drug addiction, you have something there because apparently he died of a drug overdose. We still don't know what the drug is. Okay, am I way behind the chat?
No. The last thing I got is
Yvette just answering the question about Vlad.
oh, she might be behind.
Oh. Yeah, so that's all I wanted to say about that. Like, okay, I'm not sure what she's got me. I don't know what she's doing. And yeah, and so, like I was saying, yeah, I don't know what he overdosed on either, right? We don't even know if he overdosed on drugs at all.
No, I think that was an assumption.
Yeah, for all we know, somebody could have induced a heart attack.
Yeah.
Heart attacks can be induced, So, we don't know what's going on. We still don't even know if he died of a drug addiction. We talking about drug addiction. We don't even know, first of all, what drug? Matter of fact, the white media didn't even say drug. When they announced him dead, they said he died of a heart attack. That's not a drug overdose. I heard the news this morning said that he died from suffering a heart attack.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they said. You got people speculating, talking about some fentanyl, And when he was doing fentanyl, I'm like, man,
But they didn't see no evidence of it there.
nah.
I think they assume because I think a heart attack or two before that it was drugs. So they assume that his heart attack this time was drug related.
Fentanyl.
Uh, that's because lately there's been a surge of coke and fentanyl stuff going around and overdosing or almost overdosing on it. So so they just ran with it. They a little bit of information and just took off with it. Yeah. So I personally think he just had a regular heart attack. And if you don't get no help, yes, you can die from it. You know, his heart might have been weakened. Who knows if he if he was being monitored? You know, his physical health. It, you know, they don't know if but there's still no mention of a drug, any drug. It's just all that was from initially when he came in. But none of the doctors can say what. Yeah, drama. That's a new one. Any addiction is is a drug. Food, sex, alcohol, drama, etc. Okay. I heard about people being addicted to drama, but but I get so yeah. And as for him saying about his past, he'll if you look at all his past interview when people start bringing up, or he mentioned it and they say something about it, he'll just say it is what it is. It's just fact, you know. Um, but is he still suffering from it? Is he still responding to it? Is it holding him back or is it hampering him? And he said, I did hear him say because of the trauma, he's able to write like he does. Well, not the trauma, the abuse. His mom would lock him in the room. No TV, no nothing. All he had was a few books, and a tablet. And that's where his writing has got started. Oh well, he's not their type of guy. I guess he would be considered a Pookie or Ray Ray. So yeah, you wouldn't hear Manosphere say anything. Besides, their favorite target is black women. So they would probably get on the women, his ex wife and his fiance. But as for DMX himself, nah, they ain't gonna have nothing to say about that. Well, the only problem was there was just a few books. So a few books, a dictionary. So he went through them. I think that's what made him such a great lyrics, because you hours and hours and days and a year after year, you're gonna memorize a dictionary. You're gonna memorize the Bible. So in his mind is a dictionary. So when he goes to write his lyrics, he knows what it means. He meant it that way. Mm-hmm. So that's not no TV, just books and notepad. And actually, my mom had a problem with books because I would get into books. No TV, but yeah, after a while, my mom punishment was to take books away from me. Cause no TV, no problem. I just read a book. Anyway, but as I said, he always said it just is what it is. I think he take it as that the experiences that he had experienced in life made him what he was. Okay, I know his first circle. They tried to handle it. If they can channel that addiction into his writing, they make sure he stayed fed, was taking care of himself properly, and kept him close to them. But when he got with the record industry, when he was away from his original group, because of the differences of opinion, or misunderstanding, or whatever it was, and he went with the record industry, yes, I do think they do. Because the record industry has a habit of being yes people. Hey, if the artist wants some drugs to perform, yeah, they give it to you. Yes, yes, of course, of course. It's just when once that addiction becomes start interfering with the money, that's when they start doing stuff. But yeah. So yeah, I think that's when it got really out of hand. Let me see. There was a show. I'm trying to remember what they were talking about, DMX or Rough Riders and stuff like that. The history of it. There was a talk about that. But his first circle tried to get him rehab. They try to keep him occupied. They try to pretty much stay on top of him. His peoples they were all close enough. They say, look, I'm worried about him. I think he's starting to spiral. So his kept on top of him. You know but everything is not perfect. We're human beings. We're bound to make mistakes. But they, as far as I can see, they from if I'm gonna go by what they did for the DMX Rough Rider history thing is the truth, then yes, his first circle, they try to keep on top of it. They try to help him. They try to get him off of it. Um,
Hey,
hey, Abinah. Hey. All right. So, you've been listening into the conversations?
no, I was doing one or two things, so I just finished. So I did not listen all.
Okay. Well, DMX, he's a famous rapper up in the States. He's known for Rough Rider, stuff like that. Well, he's
Mm-hmm.
passed away. And so there's a lot of talk about DMX, and he has a history of addiction. And, they think, some people think that's what he died of a drug overdose. But as I said, the news report, the doctors were saying heart attack. He didn't say anything about drugs. In fact,
Yeah,
when
you
they announced
see,
that he died, they said he died of a heart attack.
yeah, you see, sometimes that's what people used to do when maybe somebody drinks or he have been smoking or having some drugs. When the person die, they recommend or the people thinks that that was the thing killing that person. But maybe there's a different thing which happened and then the person died.
Mhm.
Or because he used to be in drugs or he drinks a lot. That is what they will say. These
Mhm.
things we need to put a stop to it and we need to watch those things.
Mhm.
So in case somebody is suffering, we can save that person's life without saying that this person being in drugs or being in drink season, we cannot help him.
Mhm. Yeah. Mhm. Yeah, and some people comment about what I was saying earlier about the way the record industry take advantage of our artists that way. You know, either if they addicted to drugs, they encourage it. If they not, they get them. But I was saying, I don't think his first circle, the record industry did. But when he got into the big record industry, I highly suspect because that's when I think you can see that he was really a little wilding out of control. But as I said, the record industry, um, they have a habit of being yes men. Whatever it takes for the artist to do what he do. The only time they step forward is when it prevents the money being made. You know.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah. So yeah, and one of the former artist Master P, he was saying that we need to have a union for hip hop artists to support them with situations like this. You know, you
Exactly.
know, it shouldn't have happened, but that's under the speculation of the drug overdose, and you know, and when I support our artists when they fall off, you know, when their records are not selling quite as much anymore, you know, support them and help them out so they don't, well, I guess you could say disappear into the gutter.
hmm Yeah. Yeah. It will be good when we find an association or we did something like that to help we ourselves. Yeah. Like somebody being drugged too much, we know some kind of advice, sorry, or some kind of talk we're gonna give to that person and it's gonna put a stop to it.
Yeah. Okay. And Max is saying we shouldn't really speak too much about this because we don't really know because there's talk about his childhood trauma and abuse and that that you know and it's like, well, we don't know that. But as I said, the little bit I've heard DMX mention about that, as he say it is what it is. It's what made him what he was. Everything, everything that he went through helped him to be he is not. If it wasn't for being locked in a room and forced to just read the same books, dictionary, the Bible,
Mm-hmm.
having a tablet to write to express himself, he wouldn't be the lyrics that he is now. Uh-huh. So
Yeah.
at the time, yeah, but when he looked back, he rather hadn't happened, but when it made him focus, it made him have a dictionary pretty much in his head, and being able to express himself in writing, be able to express himself in rap. Yeah, you know, yeah. When he was running the street, his experience with his dog, made him his dog over there years now. He was, hmm yeah.
Yeah.
So If you had got a chance to sit him down. Now I ain't saying trauma did not happen. That was he fighting them? I don't know. I think he was just learning to deal with it. Not to let what happened to him in the past hinder him. In the future. Uh huh. Getting past the block or okay. What do we all adore? Nothing but pain, stuck in this game, searching for fortune and fame. Okay, Pack. Pop. Oh, wait a minute. Is that Pop? Okay, Yvette. Okay. I'm afraid of this alleged talking point about his mother leaving him at a foster home. This is going to be ammo for the manosphere. Ah. Mm-hmm. Well, well, either they're wise enough to, hey, he's deceased. Sometimes death will make people shut up about the negativity. But hey, we'll see. They just probably hadn't thought of nothing now. But
Okay.
since everything else tend to backfire and bite them in the butt, maybe they figure to leave this one alone. But as I said, he don't fit their characteristic of men that they would defend. He fit the characteristic of men that they like to go against. So I don't think they're gonna be talking too much about it. And if his own mother, if DMX didn't put his mother down, you know, what makes you think they're gonna be able to? Because if even DMX said everything was fine until his dad left. That's when everything started going downhill. When his dad left. So that's another reason they don't want to touch that. Uh, okay, yeah, that's another reason they ain't gonna touch that. Cause because DMX would say everything was fine until his daddy left. So it would all go back on them. So that could be another reason they ain't touching it. You know, it became overwhelming for his mama. You know, that left. She had no means to support. She was doing the best she can. She was working a lot, but she wanted to save her child from the streets, and she went to extremes to save him. Because even he said she was trying to save him, protect him. You know, she just went about it the wrong way or differently than would like. So it'll just all circle back to Max saying that it's y'all fault. That if his father hadn't left, had taken into consideration, if he's the only one working, and the mother, is dependent on him, his child's dependent on him, and he just ups and leaves.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And so, the mother's gonna be overwhelmed. She's gonna try to do whatever she can to take care of her and the child, which is him, and her trying to protect him she might go overboard, or she might go out and do something out of desperation. That's why you don't put women in that point where they desperate, you know, because desperation make you do things that under normal circumstances wouldn't do, or wouldn't even occur to you to do, or it'd be like, but you go with what you got. If she has to work so many hours, it's dangerous in the neighborhood, or wherever they at, and she believes locking them in the house or locking them in his room is a way of keeping them safe, then let's do it. You know, nobody thinks leaving a 2 year old in the house by himself is a good thing. But hey, if the mother's by herself and she got to work and there's no babysitter, you know, no babysitter, no daycare, nada. Hmm. Or you new to the neighborhood, you don't know who you can trust with your child. You gone to, you know, you know, lock the child in the house, give them some rules, make sure there's plenty of food, what to do, what not to do, depends on how well you know the child. Put something to keep them occupied, maybe long playing record album. We talking about record with the record player with the repeater so that it'll play over and over again, and put a stack of other albums on top of that so that it'll, you know, and hey, don't don't let anybody in until you know them. But anyway, that's an example. Like nobody would think that's a good idea. The mother probably don't think it's a good idea, but what can she do? Gotta get that rent money, otherwise they'd be homeless in the street. The man ain't there. He disappeared somewhere. Don't know the neighbors well enough, don't know the people well enough to trust your child in their care. Okay, all right. So yeah, so desperate women, women put in a desperate situation, they're back up against the wall, they'll do things that's not correct. But hey, what's to say? Some women are lucky, things turn out okay. Stuff. Oh, you want to drop the link to the chat? Who's Polo Sports? Okay. All right, everybody. I'll drop the link in the chat. But you coming up here, Kulu, I'm gonna kick you out. But anyway. I'm afraid, yeah, so and happiness is, it depends on the child. If you was to ask me, if I was to tell you everything I went through as a child, you'd be like, oh, you had a very rough childhood. That sounds very traumatic. And and if I had to think about it, I had some happy moments, I had some sad moments, but it wasn't all sad, it wasn't all happy, it was good. All right, polo.
Ooh. How you doing, Queen?
Colizy.
Hey, so,
First off, I want to say salute to you. I love what you're doing in terms of the channel, and just wanted to give my take. I gather you're talking about DMX, correct?
right.
Right. Well, I feel that what we need to do is stop putting such an emphasis uh, and shedding light like the media does, the mainstream media does on the negative
Mm-hmm.
aspects of him. Because it seems like whenever a black man or a black woman passes, they want to bring up, their transgressions, their trials, their tribulations, their shortcomings,
Mm-hmm.
and why won't we celebrate this man of of a tremendous work ethic that he had despite what he had going on? People had to realize is that he set monumental breakers that well I should say he set monumental trends that can't really be broken. I mean, he outsold rock, rock bands, and that's unheard of in hip hop, So we need to look at it like that. But more importantly, I think the thing too, Dame, that really frustrates me too is that okay, he's an artist where they're playing his music at arenas. They're playing his music at Battle of the Bands. I'm pretty sure you've been to probably a couple where they played various music of his caliber and his songs. I remember when I was playing, the Rough Riders anthem
Mm-hmm.
was our hype up song. You know how whenever teams get ready to come out of the tunnel or come out of the locker room,
Yeah.
that was one of the anthems. So we need to celebrate things of that nature. Don't talk about the 15 kids and stuff like that. Don't talk about the crack cocaine. Don't talk about his running with the law and him being in jail and his rehab and stuff like that. But that's what they want to go on. That's what they want to capitalize off of, and it really disgusts me. And as a black woman and as a black man, it should disgust you too.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my take on it. But besides that, and people want to make all these speculations about the OD and stuff. We don't even know. We can we wait till the autopsy comes out, and then make some sort of judgment before we start automatically just thinking, oh, OD on drugs or anything. The speculation that he, took the shot or whatnot, and that might have had something to do with it. Everybody just automatically just thinks that, oh yeah, well it's drugs, it's drugs, it's drugs.
Mm-hmm.
Like let's stop looking at that. And let's celebrate somebody, because if it's your grandmother or your father or something like that, they're not gonna be at the funeral. Well, yeah, he had trouble with this and he had trouble with that. No, you want to celebrate him in a positive way.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah, I agree with you there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So so there was, as I said, the Rough Rider anthem was very popular. Actually, it's still probably popular. It's just that it don't get as played as often anymore. But shoot, yeah, it sounds like all his albums are coming back, and I ain't heard the new stuff he had did. So,
Mm.
uh, so
And,
being
and
opportunity to listen to all that.
and this is I'm sorry, damn. I meant to say this too.
Mm-hmm.
This was another thing that really shocked me about DMX, because as a big of a fan as it was, I thought he was gonna be, y'all ladies, y'all probably y'all pay attention to movies and stuff like that, and
Mm-hmm.
I gather y'all were like, here we go, another rapper or musician trying to be an actor. When he acted though, I was like, man, I was shocked. I was like shocked at how well he did, much like Pac did. He hit the ground running with the movies. And
Mm-hmm.
I think that doesn't get, because people don't really know how hard it is to do, acting and theater and, remembering your lines and things of that nature. Where to stand, all that stuff. So I think that needs to be, looked at too as well, because how tremendous of an actor he was.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. 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 Or performance is performance, whether it's in front of a crowd and the music or in front of cameras. you know.
Right.
hmm And it also probably was a dream, our kids dream of being in the movies.
Absolutely.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Absolutely.
hmm
Because I don't really look at like, okay, when Kobe passed away, or Chadwick, any of these guys passed away. I didn't look really. Oh yeah, with Chadwick, he was the actor. No, 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 no. I was fascinated that he went to a HBCU. You know, that's
hmm
that's what fascinated me. Or I looked at Kobe, I was like, wow, I didn't know he spoke. Even though I love basketball and I love the sport and everything, I was like, wow, I was fascinated at how well he took care of his daughter because I have two daughters of my own, and I
uh-huh.
was like, despite whatever he went through, he was still there for his daughter. Or you look at things like that. We got to put things in perspective. But
Yeah.
Dame, they're
Yeah.
not gonna do that. They gonna focus in on. It disgusts me so much how they brought that case up when Kobe passed away.
hmm
Still bringing up that stuff. I'm like, come on now. You act like the man went out and committing harsh crimes, like walking up in the grocery store and shooting innocent people or something.
hmm
Oh, but they don't. They rub that over. They say, oh well, he has mental issues or something like that. Oh, okay. But with us, you want to key in and glorify it and say, this is something that you could talk about or something like that. Continuing to put our brothers and sisters in a negative light, no matter what they tried to do, anything to destroy any success that we have, Dane. And
hmm
so I'm just saying, like when people pass away and stuff, man, just let that man or woman and even white or black, it don't matter what color it is. Let the man rest in peace. We don't need to be bringing up any of that negative stuff because you don't know how that family's feeling right now. You don't know that even though he got 15 kids, that's 15 eyes to the soul that are going through when they look at that TV and they're looking at what you're saying.
hmm
Because the eyes are the window to the soul or whatnot, So you got to be careful about what you saying about people and what you're reporting. I'm not talking about you, Dame. I'm talking about the mainstream media and stuff like that about what they're saying about people. That's somebody's father, grandfather, uncle, auntie, whatever.
hmm
This stuff is being recorded. This stuff is they're gonna look back at what you said and stuff like that, and they're gonna remember it.
hmm Well, but that's the problem. No consideration. But just like everything else, funerals and wedding, all the stuff come out. There's a reason why nosy people like going to the funeral. All the dirts and the secrets that been kept quiet come spilling out. Um, so those that drawn to the drama, they gonna be drawn to drama like topics. hmm But uh, as it said, whenever, as I was saying, and anytime we talk about his past,
Hmm.
it is what it is. It happened. You know, you can either let it drag you down, or you
Hmm.
can use what you learned from it, use what you took in, and go forward. Yeah.
Well, well, Dame,
hmm
to piggyback off of what you're saying,
hmm
because you and the ladies on here, and my other brother, I forget his name, man. He, I always listen to him, but I forget his name though.
Uh,
Uh,
maximum black, maximum overdrive.
Yeah, 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 yeah. There you go, man. I mean, that guy, man. He be really he be coming with he be spitting that he be coming with some facts and stuff. And so y'all got like tennis ball conversation. But to piggyback off of what you were saying, oh Dame,
hmm
yes, it is the past. Listen, if we listen, if we're gonna sit here and we're gonna talk about people's past,
Mhm.
well, these people that are doing media, these people that are, reporting this stuff, we gotta pull the curtain off of y'all and open your closet and see how many bones of the skeletons is gonna fall out and what's gonna be exposed in your light. Because I'm pretty sure that once the if the tables are turned and that happens to you, oh, they gonna shrivel up. But these people that are in the spotlight, they have no choice but to. And you know what I respect about DMX, when he was going through that transgression, he never ran from anything. He was straightforward. He was blunt. He was on. I don't know if you saw, he was on Ayana, Fix My Life.
Yeah. Yes, I did.
I was wait. I was like, when is this MF gonna snap? Because that's what people really wanted to see. They wanted to see him snap, and when he did it, people were like, okay, he's being himself and everything. He tried to contain it as much as he could, but it's situations like that. Like, I'm like, okay, well, he's at least he's being real about it. He's not being fake. He's not trying to sit here and be like, okay, well,
Mhm.
I'm this way and I'm that way, and then next thing you know, he shriveled up. No, he's honest about his problem. He went to a lady and tried to really be diligent about getting help. And it's not like he didn't try. I give him props for even trying. Some
Mhm.
people don't know what he went through in terms of his past and stuff like that as a child and stuff like that. You got to look at stuff like that. It's like, Dame, if you come to me and you be like, Polo, I got this problem or I got that problem or something like that, I'm gonna be like, nah, come on in. Are you hungry? Have you eaten today? You know what I'm saying? Do you need some money or do you need some clothing? Do you need this? We're gonna try to help you, and we're gonna try to give you food for thought too as well. But we're not gonna sit there and judge you. And it's sad. A lot of our own people do that type of stuff too. Like, if you have a drug problem and you have a family reunion, they'd be like, oh no, don't bring him to no, we're gonna bring him here. He's still family.
Mhm.
But people don't think that way no more, Dan and Albino.
It's true.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
people don't
Cause
think that way. But you see, the reason why it looks like people doesn't think that way because we are not one. If we been one, we would not be thinking that way as you are talking, brother.
Hello.
okay. I guess she fell off. But I also think what it is, people get caught up in their own pain. The
Mm,
pain of having this person do the things they did to defeat their addiction. That
mm,
they forgot the person. They just see it as another person that hurt them, or uh, um, feeding on their love for them to use them. You
right,
know,
right,
so that's what ends up happening. Either you getting hurt so much, you forget about the person on the side. All you see is that you just see it as they don't care for you. That all they care about is their addiction. They don't care how they hurt you or that they hurt you, or even seem to acknowledge that they hurt you. You know.
right, right,
Mm-hmm.
right.
Yeah.
And you see, I had a well. I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna make it short though, uh, damn, because I don't try to. You have a good, great platform, and I don't try to, you know, mess up anybody's platform or nothing like that. But I had an uncle, and he was addicted, to a drug and stuff, and
Mm-hmm.
uh, I didn't hear from him for quite some time. It had to be about like maybe about 5, 6 years straight, because we were pretty close, knit and everything and stuff, and My mom, she was telling me, she said, yeah, your uncle, he thinks that you're mad at him. You hadn't talked to him and everything. But we lost contact and everything. And so um we went to a little family gathering, and I had finally seen him and everything. And we broke bread and everything. We was able to talk and everything. We rapped one on one. And he said, man, I got to be real with you and everything. He said, man, I thought you were mad at me and everything. I said, what? Nah, I'm not mad at you or anything like that. And he said, I thought you weren't talking to me because I told you of my habit and what I was addicted to and everything. I couldn't do nothing but just, grab him, give him a hug, man, and tell him, man, it's all right. I just lost contact with you. But you see, so many relationships and so much communication gets destroyed off of assumption because of the way that you might have you might have came across to a person or something like that, when he thought that I was judging him because of his shortcomings and nothing like that. And I was like, man, nah. If anything, I was inspired by the fact that you told me, because of you was able to make that turnaround, because a lot of people don't do that. So I think that, like, Dame, when people they 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 get in a dialogue with one another, they need to be able to have a healthy conversation about whatever they did and stuff, and then, like you said, just go ahead and move forward, and the past is going to just be the past, because like you said, I love the way you put it. The past is going to be past. Ain't nothing we can do about it. The man is dead. There ain't nothing we could do about it. We can't. What we going to do? We gonna sit here and bring him up and be like, man, and scold him for doing what he did, if it was what they're saying it was?
Mm-hmm.
No, you can't do nothing about it. You can't do nothing about it. If anything, you should learn from this. You know, get your health together. If you really think that it's about drugs or any of this other nonsense that they saying about him, well, that should inspire you. Okay, look, I got to get it in. I got to get in the gym. I got to make sure that I'm taking care of my response. Get your affairs in order. I got to make sure my health is right. Make sure you're going to the doctor. Stay away from all that stuff. So that way, I could go ahead and at least try to be here a couple more years, but don't just be like, oh, he was on drugs. He was on drugs and stuff like that. And that's what they want. They want us to be oppressed and keep being depressed about it. So I just look at it different. I've been looking at it totally different. I haven't, anytime they talk about it on the media, Dame, and they be like, oh, yeah, well, his drug, I flip it off.
Yeah.
I turn it off, man, because it's not doing nothing but feeding. If they plugging in that negativity in your brain, and they putting that persona of him in a negative light. So all you when you see DMX, you think of what? You understand what I'm saying? Or
Yeah.
when you see Kobe Bryant, you think of this negative thing, or you see a person that might have had transgression. Oh, well, yeah, he was great in his craft, but we remember him for the negative stuff. I'm like, come on, Dame. It's just frustrating. It's frustrating, Queen. It's real frustrating.
Yeah. Yes, it is. Yeah. Especially when you want to think about all the good things he done, or you want to enjoy his music in peace, or enjoy his movies. They gotta, you feel like you tearing him down over something he done in his past.
Hmm.
um you
Were
not
you a fan?
letting
Were you
go.
a fan of DMX? Were you a big fan?
Yeah. I ain't saying I heard all his album, but I did like some of his music.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
Um, what really got me and my mom, because my mom, she was kind of hesitant. She liked some of the stuff, especially y'all gonna make me lose her mind.
Well, yeah,
But she loved
yeah,
the fact that he was a
right.
dog lover, a
Hmm.
pit dog lover that wasn't trying to fight his dogs. She didn't believe
Right.
in dog fighting. And it's like he really loves his dogs. And she could get behind that.
Hmm.
Yeah. And so yeah, so that like that too. About him, and that he everywhere he goes, he has one of his dogs with him. You
Right.
know, especially for my mom. At that point, everywhere she went, her dog was with her.
Hmm.
If he couldn't go, well, then he was safe at home. You
Hmm.
know, but yeah. So there's always aspect that we love about him, because we only know only so much.
Right.
God accept, as fans, we are not. I don't care how super fan we are, not gonna know everything about DMX. Shooks, his own people, those close to him don't know everything, because he did not open up with everything. There's some things he did keep to himself. That was his. That he didn't feel obligated to share.
Right.
And what he does tell you, you run off and say all this and say all that, and you making him some kind of victim. Are you making it about something else? You know, that's why he'll keep saying it is what it is. But he admits to his problem. Why lie? It's out there. You know.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, and I think he felt things very strongly, but he didn't like, feeling them strongly, because I think that was the problem with Yana Van Zant.
Hmm.
She was trying to get him to open up emotionally and open up into all that pain,
Right.
when he just wanted to move forward from it.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
the thing, see, he put if people really like were fans of his, they would see that they they put he put his pain in his music. He put his shortcomings, in his music, like in terms of the channeling of his energy and stuff. Because you say what you want, Dame, and everybody else can. It, you have to have some sort of intellect in order to do the stuff that he was doing. And just like I'm able to have a great dialogue conversation with you right now. That's
Mm-hmm.
the way that many people will tell you that DMX, uh, how he was. I mean, this guy's songs was being performed in churches. Lord, give me a sign, because he actually, he had a, despite what some people may think, he had his own relationship with his higher power.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna disrespect the channel by saying bringing up religion and nothing like that, but he was a spiritual person, to say the least. And so and it's just like with the whole Kirk Franklin situation, Dane.
Uh-huh.
I was listen, while all these people sitting up here talking about, oh, Kirk Franklin, he's supposed to be a Christian and all this other stuff. I was happy he did that, because that shedded light on the fact that he wasn't perfect, and that he's a human being just like me. Because shoot, Dame, I'm pretty sure your mom, your pops, or your family members, they they done had to go out of character at times. You know what I'm saying? And you like, okay.
Uh-huh.
So it wasn't really no shock to me. It was I was like, dang, okay, shoot, he's a human being just like anybody else. So what he Kurt? But they just see, oh, Kurt Franklin, the stomp Kurt Franklin, or the you know the songs that he did, the R&B artist or something. They don't want to see the human aspect of, okay, this guy really has real life situation going. He does have he does have a children. He does have a wife. He does have a family. This, that, and the third. He's
Mhm.
still a human being, just like us. So we need to stop all this. Oh my God, he's supposed to be a Christian. He's supposed to be perfect. Okay, and if we're gonna judge him, you better judge some of these leaders that's up in his, uh, 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 that quote unquote leaders that's leading this country and stuff like that, or leading these states, these governors and all these other people and stuff like that, because they just as foul and just as evil as him, because he said a couple of cuss words. Come on, man. Let's stop all that.
Yeah, that's the problem. They can't accept that Christians are not perfect. I know we're supposed to be driving through, thrive. Oh, let me try. We should be trying to be perfect, but we are not perfect. You know,
Mm.
yeah, and it could be something in the bringing up because they quick to say, "But you're a Christian." Yeah, but
Right.
I'm not a perfect Christian. I'm still in processing.
Hmm.
I'm gonna be processed, and when it's complete, I guess I'll be taken away. But no, I'm still processed. I'm not perfect. I am not as steady as I should be. I am not,
Mhm.
and I might get mad. I might hold grudges, but you're supposed to forgive. Okay, you get mad at us when we forgive, and there's some Christians, they forgive certain, we've seen it, forgive certain heinous things, and I'm like, why are you forgiving? They ain't asking for forgiveness. But I know that's, we're supposed to forgive, but I ain't there yet. So I say, I'm gonna have to the Lord work on me and get me to that point.
Right. Right.
Some people can, some people, but when we don't forgive, be like, you're a Christian, you're supposed to forgive. Says who? I know the
Yeah.
Bible said, but it didn't say I have to forgive at that moment.
That's real rap. That's real talk.
Oh my God. None of the Bible say I have to forgive in that moment. It might take me a while. It may
Yeah.
take me the whole day. It might take me a few years. It might take you getting out of my sight for a long period of time so I can't forget. And
Right.
there's some stuff I just let roll off my back, and people like, how you take that? How you it don't bother me, you know. So I'm a constant contradicting. There be some things, I'm gonna need a while to forgive you for this, or or I need you out of my sight so I can forgive you, because sometimes I just need time to forget, or get past the anger and other stuff. I guess because to me it's like a little irritant, and I just let it roll off. But then there's other moments when I'm irritated as heck, and it'll show, and it'll come through.
Right.
Sometimes, a few times they hear me snapping on the show. Those that been with Saloons be like, "What did y'all do? Dame is cursing." It's like, that means I'm irritated to the point where I can't take it anymore, or I gotta stop.
But see, you let people know, like you let me know before I came in. You said, hey, look, now if you come with any BS, look, I'm gonna have to kick you out now. So that's the warning right there. That's the disclaimer.
Yeah,
If you
and
will.
and And really, I don't like kicking people out. Sometimes I want to hear, but there's other times when I say, whoa, time, wait. I want to hear what this person's saying. But they're lying. I don't care. I want to hear the lie so I can identify the lie.
Oh yeah,
Okay, I'm grown. I still need to hear it, but
right.
Yeah, and sometimes I just let it run, be like, why is not Dame not saying nothing? I said, I'm just letting it go. Figured they gonna work it out. They need time to work it out. And so
Hmm.
we gonna be watching as they work it out. And
Right.
if it get out of hand, I'll step in. But what
Right.
I think is out of hand may vary from degree to degree. 1 minute is okay. Look, okay, stop with all the cursing. And then there's other time it don't faze me whatsoever, and I'd be like, okay, that's their vernacular.
Right.
And there's other times when I'm like, wait, yeah, you need to calm down with the cursing. I know you can communicate without cursing.
Right.
Yeah, so yeah.
And
Or
and
sometimes they don't know it, but all that's coming through is the anger and the cursing. I have no clue what they were talking about.
right.
Hmm.
I
But
mean,
you're
you.
right. We should be celebrating DMX. His music career, the things he came through from. Because a lot of the stuff he went through would have halted a lot of people, would stopped a lot of people. He would have died long time ago.
Hmm.
That's why I
That's true.
said the legends, even when they under the influence. Think of all our legends. They were under the influence of drugs, alcohol, but they were still able to do their thing. They were still able to perform. They were still able to write. They were still, able to their passion for what they doing drives them a little bit more than the drugs.
Right.
So yeah, but I ain't saying, oh, go do drugs, you'll be able to do what they do. That's the
Right.
trap.
Right.
That's the
Right. Right.
mistake that a lot of artists fell into. What used to be something they did to kind of relax and ease their way into, because some of them, is nervous. You're in front of a stage. Will they like my music? Will they not like my music? I know they brought my album, but now I'm performing live and stage. They might have like had a drink to relax, a little smoke. I ain't excusing it. I'm just saying what it is. And somebody said, "Oh, you just need to relax. Here, have a little drink, or here, smoke a little this," and then they start thinking because okay, they relax and they able to perform that. Oh, that's what it is. That's what created my creativity, or that. No. That was always in you. That's the trap. But the legends, they know that their stuff came from them. You know, yeah. And they able to do a lot of stuff while under the influence. And you always imagine, well, if they weren't on this, how much more we could have got, or or how much longer they could have still been with us.
Right.
Hmm.
And I think, and to piggyback off what you're saying, Dame, okay, look, just to go back on what you said in terms of his music and everything. And listen, he got me. I'm not gonna front. Like when you talk about, your mom, how she likes that song. Y'all gonna make me lose my mind. Well, look, there were songs that were able to get you through a rough time. You
Hmm.
know what I'm saying? That's why we listen to music. Some of those songs, you can relate to. Some of his music you can actually relate to.
Hmm.
So he got me through some real tough times and stuff, especially in that first album that he did. And another thing, like when you talk about uh, you know the influence, people being the influence of drugs while they performing and stuff like that. But see, when we try to change the narrative and completely get rid of the narrative or the stereotype, which is okay, all they see, most African American doing is a whole bunch of drugs out there performing, drinking, stuff like that. Okay, but when we talk about getting our health together, when we
Hmm.
talk about uh, going to the doctor, going to the dentist, going to go see dermatologists, going to go to the chiropractor, going to make sure that we getting our 8 hours of rest, making sure that we stay away from toxic things that's gonna mess up our body and stuff like that. Then they don't shed light on that positive. It's a
Hmm.
sprinkle of what you see. But when we when our stereotype is on these what you call these reality shows,
Uh,
the love and hip hops and stuff like that. They want to see all of our women, our queens, being strippers. They want to see all of our kings, mistreating, our women, having a whole bunch of babies out there. They want to see our black women, like always under like the radar and not at the top of stuff. No, we're better than that. We 10 times better than that. So when we do try to come with something positive, what does it do? What does it do, Dame? What do? They sweep it under the rug.
mhm,
They don't barely talk about it. Like we have black banks that they don't even really talk about. I think there's one in Atlanta. We got one here in Houston because I'm from Texas, by the way. Then we got in some, I think one in Alabama. Let's talk about something like that. We don't glorify that of us having a black baby. All they talk about is, oh yeah, they burnt down Black Wall Street, or they burnt down. No,
mhm.
I'm not looking at the fact that it got burnt down. I'm trying to get back to that.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get back to that unification, that unison, that 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 collective uh of individuals that we can have to try to build success within our own community. Yes, and if there's other races involved, yeah, that's fine. But we know what it is, and we know that what we're trying to do, and we're trying to build something to where nobody can destroy it. But they always gonna try to find a way, Dame, to try to destroy it. They're gonna try to get it. They're gonna try to use anything necessary to take our power away from us.
Mhm,
We're infiltrating it right now. We're changing the narrative constantly, whether it's through technology, whether it's through various careers that they say, okay, well, it's for this people only. No, we coming up in there affirmative action like, nah, we finna bum rush it and we finna go ahead and take it over because a lot of this stuff we invented
mhm.
and we don't get no credit for. But yet and still they don't talk about that. They take the credit for us. And that like that movie with Most Def. I don't know if you've seen it. It's called something the Lord has made.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's got Most Def in there. It's with him and that girl that played in Set It Off. I forget her name. She was the one that had they took her kid away from her
Oh,
in that
okay.
movie.
I know who you're talking about. Can't
Yeah, but
remember
anyway,
what you're talking about.
yeah, it was he was a heart surgeon in the movie and stuff, and the guy took the credit for all the stuff that he had did. It was a white guy, and they named they didn't name no school after him or none of that, and he was the one that actually did the research and stuff like that. So it's stuff like that we have to look at, and they constantly want that narrative to be out there about us, Dane. About our brothers and our sisters, our kings and our queens.
Mhm. Yeah. Well, yeah, cause they they won't. Okay, they don't want anybody to see the greatness that's in us, even ourselves, Because I was
Mhm.
one of those that was like, yeah, but they burned like Wall Street. And then I, found out there was more than one. I knew about certain towns that had been burned down and stuff like that. And, it took me a while, realize, okay, look, I'm stepping on this person's idea. And somebody also had to point out to me, no, you don't discourage that. It's just that, I said, well, yeah, but I don't think that's gonna be the way completely. I said, well, no, but you combine it with a bunch of other stuff. Yeah, that's a whole lot. Um, and you're right about the black banks. I'm just discovering them. I just thought, there was just like one or two. Um, but so I was like, okay, so I start looking into some of them.
Yeah, because I believe in like okay, there's a
Hmm.
lady here because I take my kids to the park and stuff, and she has her own. It's like it it's a party uh party like setup business where where kids can have treats and candies, and she does parties and stuff like that, but she also comes to the park and she gives the kids candy and stuff like that. And she African American, but then you got another guy here, that's selling candy, stuff like that, doing the thing, popsicles, this, that, and the third. Well, I go to her first, and support her because she's a single mom, and she's doing everything. It's just like I look at that. I'm like, okay, and like you say, you look for research. I look at everything, that's black owned, because that's the only way that if we pour into our community, and we try to do that, that's we gonna make somewhat of our presence felt. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Uh we sit here and we spend all this time tearing each other down, talking down on each other, whether it be in the flesh or on social media. You know what I'm saying? Somebody always got something negative to say. Well, nah, support that brother. Support Dame. Support Dame for what she doing. What they say, Dame, where two or three are gathered. That's my
Hmm.
mentality. You know what I'm saying? Like, whether I got one person, that one person, at least they gonna listen to me. I got a small little platform. You know what I'm saying? I've been I kind of taken a step back and everything because of some personal stuff that had to really get taken care of. But
Hmm.
I want, whether it's one or two people, or whether it's one or 2 million. It don't matter. I'm gonna plant a seed somewhere, and that's what we have to do. We gotta plant. We gotta plant our seeds. Help that you laughing at that brother that's probably sitting there selling something, and he's barely getting his feet off the ground. Don't really have that many people and everything like that. But what you don't realize is, at least he's out there trying. I'm talking about, African American brother. At least he's out there trying. At least he's out there, actually putting the pedal to the metal. What are you doing? He's not out there being a panhandler, begging for change or nothing like that. Nah, he's doing the best that he can, and trying to do something positive, and actually giving back to our community and stuff. And we need to stop laughing and stop tearing each other down, and then we'll be able to get somewhere. But people don't want to hear that. It's so many years of destruction that a lot of people, they look back on. Oh, well, he did this to me, and he did that to me, and he black and stuff like that. Well, you got to move on. Sometimes there's a lot of people you know try to do me wrong, but they still my brothers and my sisters.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
if you talked about me, you know what I'm saying? Hey, I'm not sensitive. You had to have alligator skin from where I was from. You had to have thick skin. But it didn't stop me.
Yeah, but you know something, the reason why it looks like we turn each other down, we don't support the one who are doing a good thing. We always support the one who doesn't care, who doesn't do the good things, and they are doing the bad thing rather more than the one who is helping himself to bring the good things out. That's what the we the blacks we are doing, and it's not helping us. You understand? It's not helping us, so we need to have some solution for it so that we can move forward as a black people.
Right. That,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah. Exactly. we're quick to support the those that
Yeah.
are not trying to help the community. They're just trying to help themselves. They're not seeing that, hey, we got to help each other. And you end up helping yourself as you help others.
Like I want to see. I see a lot of okay, and this is no disrespect to any other race, but okay, I'll see another race, Dame and Abina, selling our products. Such as the beauty depots and this, that, and the third. They selling our products, and in their stores and stuff like that. Well, I want to see my king and my queens behind that counter. Not like, what was it? It was some movie, man, but it said black owned, and then all of a sudden another race popped up. It was like,
Oh yeah, yeah.
you know what I'm talking about.
Mhm. That
And it's
was
like,
that was funny. In hip hop gear of all things.
yeah. So, I want to see our kings and our queens selling the stuff that we made. I mean, we pretty much. I mean, we built the damn country. Excuse my language. You know what I'm saying? So it's just if they can get up in here and put up a shop in our community, you know what I'm saying? Whether it be barber, whether it be nail salon, whether it be beauty depot, whatever beauty supply store, all that other stuff. Why can't we do that? Why can't we put the pedal to the metal and do that? Have y'all ever looked at that?
Well, actually, I did kind of look into it.
Mhm,
Um, we had some hindrance to getting uh the funding or getting help with that, and
mhm.
then the government conspired against us to make sure we don't get all that. That's how it ended up becoming dependent on Asians for our hair products and stuff. And you're right. I'd rather hear from somebody that actually is black, who knows more about what works in our hair and what don't. They just take in any old thing. They don't really know.
Like a I don't, because I know. See, my wife is she's from another country. You know what I'm saying? She's Caribbean, and
Oh,
like
okay.
yeah, when she comes here, like when she cook, like whenever she cooks, her aunt comes from her country to visit. You know what I'm saying? She'll bring what she can. You know what I'm saying, because of immigration, all that stuff. But
Mhm.
she'll bring whatever she can, and the stuff that she bringing, like the coconut oil and this, whether it be snapper, raw, real fish, or raw shea butter or something like that, it be really authentic. And I'm like, man, that stuff is so pure. So what I'm saying, Dame and Abina, is like, okay, we got brothers and sisters out there, not necessarily from the US, but they still black, that know
Okay.
more about the knowledge about this stuff, that we could bring in
Mm-hmm.
and stuff, and to say, okay, hey, look, for instance, I'll be like, Abina, I'm gonna talk to her before I go to this other guy right here, because they only gonna sell me just to go ahead and get that quick dollar, while Abina's gonna pull me to a side, or pull Dame to a side and be like, look, hey girl, this is what I'm gonna do for your hair right here, okay? Look, because I have a
Mhm.
lot of knowledge, because and I'm gonna look at Abina, I'm gonna look at her hair, I'm gonna look at Dame and look at her hair. I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna look at this dude because I don't have the same texture of hair as him. I want to listen to her and what she's saying. She'd be like, look, you need to put something on this right here, or something like that, to make it better. Sort of like a black barber. He gonna be
Yeah.
like, look, man, you gotta. you got to do this or da 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 da. I'm not gonna go to another race or nothing like that because they just gonna be like, okay, yeah, you can do that. Yeah, that's fine. But what do you truly know? You don't have the same type of texture of hair, or my skin ain't the same as yours or something like that. I just looked at
Mhm.
it like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And where is your wife from? Which country your wife from?
Yeah, she's Belizean.
What?
Belize.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Hmm.
Okay. That's good. Yeah, bro. Good. Yeah, that is what you have said all because you see we have some brothers and sisters who are from different country. Yeah, I'm also from a different country, even though I'm a black, but I'm also from Africa.
Right, right, right. Yeah, she
Yeah, so you see
Belizean,
that's the thing that
Belizean
we need.
and Nigerian. So
I'm a Ghanaian. I'm
okay,
from
okay,
Ghana.
yeah. But see, y'all probably y'all cook like the same food. And
Yeah.
yeah, like when she throw it out. Like I try to get in the kitchen, Dame and Abina. I try to get in the kitchen. And, I'm thinking because I could throw down a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Man, she be like,
Mhm.
get out of the kitchen. I'm like, what? Because that's how serious she take, cooking and everything. And I'm just like, okay, well, shoot, you go ahead and take over. Even when I come in, you know what I'm saying? She got the beans, she got the curry already made and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Or she got the oxtails already made and stuff like that. I'm like, okay, well, shoot, so
Yeah. You see, we
she's
need to be.
competitive when it comes to that cooking. I thought I was competitive, but shoot, she on a whole nother level, man.
Mhm. Yeah, it's good that we need to connect ourselves to each other, or we at the black that we are different countries. You see,
Hmm.
many of us, it looks like we don't understand each other because maybe I'm from America and I don't understand an African or maybe a black people who are in different country also. And we see those things being discrimination for ourselves as a black people. And these are the things that we need to put a stop to it. That we need to learn from each other
Right, right.
because yeah, we need to learn from each other. I can learn from black Americans who are in the States,
Hmm.
and they also can learn from me because I'm in Africa. What I know in Africa, they don't know. And what they also know in America, I also doesn't know it.
Right.
So when we come together and we start learning those things from each other, I think we the black community will be improving and moving forward.
Right.
Yeah, we shouldn't be like, okay, I'm from American, so I need to be a friend with only American, only people who are in
Nah,
America or
not at
something else.
all.
No,
That's
we need
right.
to be friends with each and everyone who is a black, not only American. The black people who are from different country. Then you can learn other people culture and what they are doing. You can learn it and add it to your own. But when we sit down over there and we say, okay, I'm not going to learn anybody's culture because I've been through a lot of problems. Yes, it's true. I know Americans have been they have been a lot, and they still been the same situation as it haven't been solved yet. But when we come as a group or as a one people, we can solve those solutions.
That's true. I mean, everybody got to be, being and Dame. I think it's like, we got to be more open minded because everybody. I mean, you'll be surprised if you go back in your culture, your background and stuff. You'll see that okay, everybody didn't come from what they call the United States of America. Everybody's not American and everything.
Yes.
That you'll be really surprised. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't know Marcus Garvey. was Jamaican. You know what I'm
You
saying? So
see?
yeah,
Yeah.
he Jamaican descent. So I didn't know that, and it fascinated me. When I look at that type of stuff, but just because and it, I'm not gonna say it infuriates me a bit, but like we'll go somewhere and they automatically, just because my wife, she has a heavy accent, they think that she doesn't know as much as they do in terms of the culture, or she's not up on game or nothing. But she's like, no, it's okay, calm down, and she'll just pretty much just steal the show, for from everybody
Mhm.
because they're so fascinated. But I'm like, okay, yeah, just because she she comes from somewhere else in America, might have a little bit more and everything, that she still has a brain. She still has activity in her limbs. She still got a heart like you. She still got kidneys. She still got lungs. Just like you, Abina, you got heart, kidney, lungs, all that stuff. Just like you, Dame, you got heart,
Mhm.
kidney, lungs, all this, that, and the third. What makes you any different than me? You know what I'm saying? We should all be able to come together and be able to converse.
Yeah.
Without
It's our own.
and be able to learn from each other.
Yeah, it's true. But you know something? Is we, the black people, we are the same people selling ourselves out for the people to see that, oh, black people being this all the time. You see, we've been selling ourselves out. Some of us, some of our sisters been selling out, some of our brothers been selling out. All because they do that to get what they want.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not what we should do. You need to fight for your sister. You need to fight for your brother. You shouldn't fight for you alone, or thinking that, okay, when I come okay, that means I'm okay with what I have. But you don't think about your sister who is a single mother, your brother who doesn't even have anything. You don't even think about that person. All you think about you alone. That's why we see we the blacks always, we don't be moving forward. We are going back. Instead of us to move forward, we always go backwards. So when we start going backwards, do you think, are we going to be okay? Are we going to save the black children as well? Look at the way now the black children are dying. Look at what the women are doing. They are dying, killing our own souls. All because we do discrimination and we do silent out of our women and our brothers. So when we don't put a stop to these things, I tell you, a time will come, we the blacks, we are going to raise a flag on ourselves, killing everyone if we don't put a stop to it. And you see, one thing that it pains me a lot, that when they see the good channel who is talking about a good thing, they don't support the channel to move forward because they hate the good things. All they do, they want they want the bad things, and they'll be listening to the bad things, and they'll support the bad people always.
Mm-hmm.
That's facts.
Yeah. Yeah. When we're talking about something real, we get few and far between. But oh, let there be some drama, fight, a very very heated disagreement. Then we get flooded.
Yeah, yeah,
I think
because
I
they,
think
they don't want they don't want all the good channels to move forward, because when they put the good channel forward, they knows that they will be talking about a good thing and the people will be start changing. But they don't want that way. They want all the time. You see, the youth or the young generation that they are coming, they want their downfall, and they want us to destroy them. So they always talk about the bad things on those channels. But when they see like this channel, we talk the good things. Nobody is supporting. We have a few people who support because they understand that we talk about the good things. Instead of them to support so that the channel will go forward, we have a few. You see, but go and look at the channels that they talk about the things that hey, we need to do this, we need to do this. They will support them, brother.
Right. I just feel like, if like you were saying just a whole second ago, Dan, if we're gonna have a difference of opinion, and then we need to actually we need to embrace that. Listen, man, everybody's not gonna think the same. Everybody's not gonna everybody's not gonna have the same type of outlook that you do, but the goal in the end might be similar. So if there's a little confrontation, that there's nothing wrong with that. Confrontation at times leads to a beautiful situation. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like, when with the NAACP, okay, uh, W.E.B. Du Bois and Booker T. Washington. They had different different ways of going about in order to get a a, 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 a common goal, but they still were able to, in the end, somewhat come together and be like, you know what, we could still see, eye to eye. It may not be the same type of road that we taking, but we could still, see eye to eye. It's much like, MLK and Malcolm X. You know what I'm saying? Especially when, they found that out. The white folks saw that they were eventually gonna, see ideals. Their paths were different. You know what I'm saying? Even though they never got no confrontation. But I'm just saying, confrontation sometimes, Dame, you might sit up here and say, man, this guy here, man, I don't know what he be talking about, sometimes, but I kind of see what he's saying, or Abina might be like, man, I can't identify with nothing that you saying, or anything like that, but I probably have the same type of mindset that you do. I'm just giving an example. And it's even with men and women. Yeah, like raising kids. Y'all might do things completely different because of cultural backgrounds, because of the way that y'all were raised and everything like that. But the goal is to what? To make sure that they grow up, be successful,
Mm-hmm.
and live just as great a life as you do.
Right.
So I just think that,
Yeah.
like, when we butt heads, or other channels, they have, like, a different difference of opinion or something like that. Well, you gotta stop taking that stuff, personal, and still support that. There's many channels on here that I don't agree with some of the stuff that they saying or anything like that, but I still support them. You know what I'm saying? I still support them. It's not nothing personal.
Mm-hmm. Well, could be like Max had pointed out to me. We take things too personal, and we see that a different as opinion as you're saying I'm wrong because my opinion is different from yours. To me, it sounds like you're saying I'm wrong. That's how we're reacting to it. And so we defend ourselves from a position, no, I'm right, because instead of listening to each other and accept the differences and work on the common goal. Mm-hmm.
Right.
There's
Right.
there'd be more than one way to come at it, or both ways could be perfectly fine.
Mhm. Like where y'all at if y'all don't mind me asking? Cause I'm in the South. I'm in Texas, so I mean
All right,
where?
I'm right next door to you. I'm in Louisiana.
Oh, okay, you in the boot. Okay.
See, Max be looking at me strange. Think when I say yeah, I'm from the boot, and you're
Hmm.
like, oh, because Louisiana, yeah.
Yeah, you from the boot, man. Shoot, yeah, much respect, man. Yeah, cause I got family in Alexandria, Shreveport, and Baton Rouge. So,
And I got family and friends in Houston, Dallas,
mhm.
a couple of them in Austin and San Antonio.
Oh, okay, all right, yeah, yeah, man. You ain't nothing but a hop, skip, and a jump.
Yep, just follow I-10 if I'm going to Houston, I-49 if I'm going to Shreveport.
Right.
I mean Dallas. Well, I prefer to go to Dallas, going up through Shreveport, and then go next door.
Oh yeah, I try hit 20. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
mm.
cause yeah, cause
And
uh,
Abner, go ahead and tell them where you at.
Oh, okay, brother, I'm from Africa, Ghana.
mhm.
That is where I'm from.
Oh, okay. You in Ghana now, or you just like?
Yeah, I'm in Ghana now.
Oh wow. Okay. Yeah, man. Shoot. Man, can you book me a flight, please? Me and my family a flight, so we could go ahead and stay there, please. You know what I'm saying? Tell me
Yeah,
about it.
yeah, because I want my brothers and sisters to come home, to come back home, and
Mm,
and see where they are coming from, and look at their ancestors over here. Yeah. So I
right.
wish you can make it and come back home and see where you are from.
Y- Yeah, I had. Well, one of my wife's friends is from there, so yeah, she was actually her hairdresser. So
Oh wow.
yeah, she from there, and then she had another. Well, she had a couple friends from there, and then she had. I have a good friend that's from. He's from Ethiopia,
Oh okay.
or Eritrea, that area, and then her father, of course, is Nigerian. You know what I'm saying? So he's straight out of Nigeria, and then a couple people from Cameroon, and had a trainer that was from Mali. You know what I'm saying? All over the motherland.
Yeah, but it's good. It's good that you have a friend like that because you see you can get different ideas from them. That is great. You see, when everybody or each and everyone have a friend from the motherland like this, it's good. You cannot be with them, but you can find some of the ideas from them. Yeah, it's good, bro.
Okay, Max, Polio 21 is with us. Came up to chat about DMX um, well, and now
Mhm.
we into people supporting black businesses, especially the hair care. Because hey, who know more about our own hair than our own people?
Right, what's going on, Paulie? How you doing, bro?
Salute, man. Salute,
Yeah,
man.
man.
I told her, man, my guy man, he be food for thought all day. So I got to hear this man
Hmm.
right here, man.
I appreciate it, man. Um, we try to get some good information to our people. We have so many phonies out here on the internet that's leading us down a bad path. You know, you said something. I was listening to you here. You said something I have a little issue with. You said that. Well, I don't have an issue with it per se because you can do what you want to do. You said you support people that you don't agree with.
Yeah, like I'm saying in terms of like, we might have a difference of, opinion, in terms of like, let's say like, sports or something like that. Um,
Oh, okay.
yeah, like
uh,
even music. You know, I still will support their brand or what they trying to build. Like they might like a particular person, or uh they might have a particular subject that they're real into that I'm not into or something like that. That's what I
okay, I see what you're saying. I see what
yeah.
you're saying. Okay. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, yeah, I know a few places like that. They yeah, I'm a Steeler fan, they're a Cowboy fan.
Hmm.
You know, I don't like the Cowboys, but we still tight. You know what I'm saying? Because we both football fans or whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
But
Cause
even with like, okay, like gangster, if you okay, you might have something that you feel strongly about, and I'm like, nah, 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 nah. Actually, I feel this way or something like that. I'm not gonna be like, man, well, you know what, man, I ain't fucking with gangster no more. So eh, that's not the way that I am. I'm like, nah, that's still my brother right there, and
mm,
and I think that's what I was trying to explain to Damon Bean, is that just because we have disagreements or confrontation or something like that, it can still lead to a beautiful situation, man. You can't just be like, oh,
right.
nah, hold grudges and all that.
Yeah, I agree that happens. You, that's okay with some situations, but not all situations. Like, there's a situation now where you have, groups of brothers who do nothing but preach hatred towards black women and children. And I can't come to any kind of common ground with these brothers.
Yeah, that's right.
As far as I'm concerned, when you're talking about hating our women and you are inciting violence against our women and, encouraging brothers to get rid of their seeds because they don't want to pay child support, stuff like that. I can't rock with you on no kind of level on that. As far as I'm concerned, there's no reconciliation there. If that's the kind of mentality that you have, then no, I can't consider you a brother.
Yeah, that's facts right there. Like I don't believe in destroying our queens or tearing down our queens by any means. No matter what they have been through. I don't believe in destroying each other. Uh, destroying, tearing down our kings, man. You know what I'm saying? Despite whatever we done been through. You know, I feel
Right.
like if you a man, if you call yourself a man, especially in this United Snakes of America that we live in, if you call yourself a man and you telling me that you're not there for your wife unconditionally, or you're not there for your better half unconditionally, you're not there for your seed, more importantly, from a love standpoint, unconditionally taking care of them, not just money or material wise, and you're not fulfilling your responsibilities or your duties or obligation, then take that man part out of there, because you're not one to me. You know what I'm saying? First and foremost, when you have that seed in front of you, or when you have that woman that's your queen, that's supposed to be holding you down, man, those are big shoes that you have to fill, and you have to fill them to the T, to where your feet are busting out of the seams of your shoes. If,
Mm-hmm.
if if you know what I mean, you have to go
Mm-hmm.
above and beyond what you're doing. Other than that, we don't have nothing to discuss, and I identify with you on that. So all this, that's why I was talking about Dame earlier. All this about us being on reality shows, and how they looking at us and stuff like that. That's how these people see us, and it's sad. But no, we have intelligent individuals who want to take care of their families. We have intelligent individuals that do want to be productive individuals of society, not just guys that just want to tear down and destroy women and treat them treat them like this way, sweep up under the rug and move on to the next one. Not every guy is like that. And I told a couple people, I said, man, if you see me as a simp, man, we could simp all day. You run up on me though. Shoot,
Mm-hmm.
but hey, I'm gonna take care of my responsibility. I came from a single mom. You know what I'm saying? But she taught me how to treat a woman. You know what I'm saying? But I ain't want to be like everybody else. Maybe I didn't want to go down that route. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I didn't see that as a good avenue. And obviously, I went down the right avenue because I'm still here. You know what I'm saying? I ain't in jail and I ain't in no box. You know what I'm saying? So obviously it got me somewhere, and I got two beautiful daughters, a son, and I got a wife. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, everybody could do this. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to follow. I'm not no follower, man.
It's funny you're talking about the word simp. They throw that word around whenever you give a damn about your people, period. You
Yeah,
know, you care about what happens to us. You're simping if you care about what happens to the children. I was just watching something the other day that made me sick to my stomach. You got one brother killed his girl and five children. Man, we don't do stuff like that. We black folks, man, we don't get down like that, man. I come from out of the '70s, man. We don't rock like that. That's weakness. We're not supposed to be weak men. We're not the executioners of our women and children. We are their protectors and their providers. I'm not sure what's going on today with these brothers, man. I've never seen guys like this before. I've never seen black men this weak before. Can't really identify what's going on with him. I've never seen nothing like this. I mean, I'm talking about the slightest little. These guys can't take nothing, man. They can't endure anything. They can't take any kind of pain. They have no real toughness in them. No one, two, no nothing. They sound very, 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 very effeminate, man.
right.
Yeah. I'm not even sure a lot of these guys can even take a punch. I was talking to my boy about this 2 nights ago. We can't figure out what this is, man. We never seen nothing. It's like an epidemic, man, of different type of brothers that are just popping up out of nowhere, just making things bad throughout all the communities.
But you see, gangster. And I don't mean cut you off, man. But this is my thing here. Okay, look, we got to put our stamp. You said popping up. Look, my son. Hey, we gotta groom. I gotta groom my young cub right, and I gotta make sure that, hey, no, this is how it's gonna be. Look, man, if you see my way of being old school or too, oh well, that was back in the day, stuff like that. Well, shoot, we gonna stay like that because back in the days, I like back in the days. I
Hmm.
like when the way women, the vast majority of our women were treated and
Yeah,
being looked at,
yeah,
but now,
especially in the '70s.
yeah, like, and I'm an '80s baby, but
Hmm.
it's, but even still, I was still raised, like you, gangster, and
Hmm.
Abina and Dame, of course. Y'all was raised with morals and
Hmm.
values and stuff. Just because you grew up in a project or you came up from a messed up neighborhood, man, that don't mean that you gotta instill that concrete type of living towards everybody. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
right.
You do that when you attack success. Do that when you got to be vicious, but don't be vicious towards your woman. Don't be vicious towards your other man and tearing him down. You know what I'm saying? So I just I want to raise my prince into a king and make him stand on that. because the king in my eye is being able to make sure that your family is well taken care of, even if it means that you have to suffer.
Yeah, just because you come from, like you said, like the projects can be ran down or something like that, but it doesn't mean that you have that kind of mentality. I know a lot of brothers who came from impoverished backgrounds, and they still got their morals intact. They're
Hmm.
not warped in the mind. It depends on who you're being who you're being raised by. I come from a time where the community raised all the kids. On
Hmm.
my block, all of the mothers and fathers on the block were my mothers and fathers.
Hmm.
Because the parents, they worked together. They were all the parents knew each other on the block. There was nowhere you could go on the block to where you wasn't being parented by somebody's parent.
Hmm.
You know, they all looked out for each other's children, kids. Everybody can give you an ass whooping. Every parent on the block can give you a butt whooping. Okay, so
Yeah.
that's that's where I came from, and so and black people cared about each other back then. When you
Hmm.
go, when you look at what's going on now, all of this self hatred, and then you got brothers. What's bothering me is this. I understand what white people are doing. I get what they're doing. They hate us. They've been hating us for whatever. I'm not concerned about them doing what they do. I got a problem with these brothers, man. It's just too many brothers now that done joined that side of the coin and have turned against black people. That's that's what's bothering me the most right now. Everywhere you look now, you see more sellouts who are black men, and their numbers are going. Their numbers are growing on that sellout tally. And it's not one or two brothers, man. It's like groups of them at one time. It's like a couple of hundred at a time, just completely selling out, buying into this fictitious life, believing that we can replace women. You got some fool out here talking about black men would do better without women. And if there were no women, men would be winning and men would have more resources.
Nah.
Fool don't understand that if you got rid of women, all the resources will automatically become useless.
Hmm.
What would you need them for? There are no women. What resource on here that can make you happy and that would be worth the damn if you had no women? These fools don't even think, man. They just follow blindly, listen to some fool telling them all kinds of crazy things. I don't care what you have here on this earth that you think is valuable. The most valuable thing on this earth is women. You get rid of the women and nothing means anything anymore. Everything loses its value, even life, because it won't be worth living anymore without any women. Everything loses its value. All of a sudden, that car don't mean nothing no more because you ain't riding around looking at no women. You ain't going to pick no woman up. You're not picking your daughters up from school. What you gonna do? Ride around with a bunch of niggas in your car all the time?
Hmm.
You gonna ride around searching for niggas? That ain't what you gonna do as a man. You looking for some women. Even when you going places and you ain't got women on your mind, women are looking at you as you ride by in your new ride. You know what I'm saying? Everything is about women, man. Look at the way everything is structured, right? Everything has a symbolic image of a penis and a vagina. That's just about everywhere you go. People don't pay attention to that because they don't be thinking about it, right? Like for example, I drive trucks, right?
Hmm.
Look at what the truck symbolizes, the 18 wheel truck. Look at its narrow, long length. And look at what we back into, right? Look at the way the dock is, look at the way, how the dock is a big hole, right? See what I'm talking about?
Right. Right.
Right. Hey, see, so everything symbolizes procreation with a male and a female. Okay, and so you get rid of the female, nothing is worth nothing is worth it. Everything loses value. So no, men won't be winning. They'll actually be losing.
Hey, gangster, what's coming out of that? What's coming out of that truck too, or the trailer?
Exactly. You know.
I didn't mean to get too descriptive,
nah, but nah, but
Bean,
that's
but
what it is, though. You know what I'm saying? And then when you look at what it's going into, it's usually substance that's
right,
nurturing.
a
That's
warehouse, yeah.
nurturing, right? 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 It's nurturing. Like I deliver food because I drive a reefer, so everything that comes out that truck goes
Right.
into that warehouse, which nurtures everyone else.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Because you got to see, it gets food that goes around, right, to everybody else out to the store. So it's the food that's feeding everyone. You know, but yeah, you got these fools, man. And they doing a lot of damage too, man. Because now you got these young boys who are listening to them. I'm hearing boys as young as 14 and 15 years old talking about they don't need women,
Hmm.
talking about they don't need girls. 14 and 15 years old running around here talking about they don't need women. That's problematic. When I was their age, when I was young like that, that's all we did was hung with our girls, man. You know, we didn't even we wouldn't in each other's face like that, like these boys are. These boys are in each other's face all the time. They don't want to be around women. I said before, you know, the problem with a lot of them now is that they hate women because they love men.
Hmm.
Yeah. They don't understand that love is for women, respect is for men. You don't love men, you respect men. You love your women. You love the women in your life. You know, and that's what we're dealing with now. And you know, and every time one of our sisters go down, you know, it's funny. They make a lot of jokes about it. You know, they say the sister got what she deserved, and when the children go down with her, they're good. That happen too. You know, because they feel that the man, right? Because they feel that the man is somehow being held to take care of his responsibilities against his will. So if the woman has children now, right? All that's in question because they look at it this way. When they lay down to have sex, did they agree to have a child? No. So they said since they didn't agree to have a child and she gets pregnant, that's all her fault, not the man's fault. And that he shouldn't try to father the child. Oh yeah, man. They done did a total they done totally flipped the script, man, and done turned it into a situation now to where it can't be nothing but men against women and women against men. They're making sure that's the way it goes down.
Right. I mean, you know, I was taught he fell out.
Yeah, yeah, he fell
I
off.
think gangster. I think gangster fell out.
Yeah,
But he, man, he touched on the point. Like I was taught that if if you lay down with it, man, you better be prepared for every intent of what's gonna happen uh, after that. You know, of course, you
exactly.
know that we have to understand that certain situations happen to where okay, hey, could that child be mine or could it not be mine or something and that. But if if that's a woman that you trust and you love and you've been by, the majority of the time and stuff, then there should be no question that, okay, hey, look, this is mine. But of course, you know, if the tables are turned, and let's say for instance that, y'all not really committed to each other or something like that, and there's some trust issues that, look, just do what you got to do to, make sure that that child is yours or is not yours, and then move forward from there. But don't just run away from the situation.
Exactly.
Don't run away from your responsibility, or just say, well, shoot, she hadn't done it yet, or I'm not going to do it. No, you got to take that initiative. You know what I'm saying? And I think that that's what's lost. And I don't know if Gangster's still listening, but if he is, our initiative, uh, as men, are, are no longer. We don't take initiative. You know what I'm saying? To do things. We want stuff to be handed to us. We want stuff to just fall there right in our hands, or in our lap, or right in front of us and stuff. And it just don't work that way. Unfortunately, it's something that you have to work for, and that's what I'm gonna instill in my kids. Hey, you want treats, or you want a reward, or something like that. You don't have to work for it, because nobody gonna give you anything.
Yeah.
And our work ethic is lost. We're not loyal to one another. We're we're not even loyal to ourselves. We're not being true to ourselves. I mean, my mom would get mad at me, Damon, Abina. My mom would get mad at me if she even found out I was even attempting to put my hands on a woman. Like, y- you know what I'm saying? We have to be loyal, and that goes back to what I just said. You have to be loyal to yourself. If you came from a household and your father and your mom both told you that you should not abuse a woman, that you should not mistreat a woman, then and you go out there and you mistreat that queen, they should be infuriated. That whole tribe should be infuriated with you. They should feel ashamed of what you done did just for that moment. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And they should do
The,
whatever's necessary to punish you, and say, hey, look, well, you put your hands on Dame. Nah. I want you in front of everybody to apologize to her, let her know that you love her. Do something that is just as embarrassing to you, and make you swallow your pride as you did to her. Because a woman feel a woman, especially a black woman, some black women, they feel ashamed, they feel embarrassed, they feel low self-esteem when they get abused. You know what I'm saying? They are already tormented for the rest of their life. For the rest of their life, you've
yeah.
already you planted a seed in them. Like, okay, well, shoot, man, I don't even. And now, how do you know how that woman gonna feel for the next years of her life? She gonna feel uncomfortable and stuff like that. So you planted a negative seed. So they wanted. I want to make sure that my son particularly doesn't plant that type of seed uh, in any type of woman or any type of relationship that he's in.
But the reason, we have more CCBN within us, and they doesn't care about women. They don't even want women to move forward. All they do is that they will be blaming the women for everything that they're supposed to do. You see, so when they beat a woman, or they raise their hand on a top of a woman, instead of them to apologize to the woman, they will tell you, oh no, it's the woman's fault. If he did not do anything, will I raise my hand on her? You see, those are the things that we are talking about. And the men need to Yeah, men need to understand it that we cannot be okay when you start beating us or raising a hand on the top of a woman. Yeah, yeah. Because when we start, we've been doing those. Mhm.
Uh-huh. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But nowadays sometimes their own mother, the ones that have abused women, their own mothers is defending their sons instead of condemning him, or saying there was no reason. They are the ones that is supporting the son, saying it's the woman's fault.
See all this. Hmm.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah. So it's
Uh,
kind of hard. You know. So we, sometimes we as women in defending our home, we don't sympathize with the woman. That's not good
mhm.
neither.
That is very bad.
Hmm. You know, uh, yeah, I think it has something to do with having your child's back, taken, being on the side of your child. Because I remember my aunt, she was chastising her son. Um, for using intimidation on his girlfriend. He's bigger than his girlfriend. He didn't actually touch her, but we know when a man is kind of leaning over you, intimidating you, and stuff like that. And she chastised him for it, and she fussed at him about it. And he was coming back. You're supposed to be on my side.
Mhm.
Yeah. So sometimes you know mothers um are backing their sons instead of seeing the woman as the woman. If it was her, or putting herself in the woman's shoes. All right.
I
Okay.
got you.
hmm so we got to be careful of that. It's one thing to defend yours when they're in the right, but if they're doing wrong, they're doing wrong. You got to call them to account, because it reflects on you, because you raised them. That's why um it used to be the parents would go both in, because hey, they raised you. So what did they teach you to make you think you can lay hands on a woman? And if so,
Mhm.
they correcting that right now. That's why I know it seemed like a fairy tale. And we've seen it on movies where the your man's father would say, "Let me know if he ever lay hands on you." That means because I raised him better than that. And if he forgot the way I raised him and did that, I gotta correct it. You know, as the parent, because he's supposed to be representing my family. And my raising him, so it gotta be corrected. Show that even though I am your family, I don't think that's correct neither. Okay, what is this? All right, I was getting something. Okay, all right, this is getting crazy now. We got an update. Um, okay, let's see. Oh, wait, wait, wait. No, this is the original story. Okay. Oh, okay. Okay. All right. It's a little confusing. It seemed like that DMX is still on life support, but I think what it is that they reposted an older post, and where Where let's see. Okay, on the update, DMX had died at the age of 50. His family confirmed on Friday. Then they go to the original story. All right. I thought I was gonna be talking about that there seemed to be another rumor that he's still alive, but I think what it is, they repost an old post and they put the update in really small at the top, and it's creating confusion. Uh huh. So, uh, okay. So this is a little, yeah, yeah. All right, this is creating confusion. The way they did this, I don't know if they did this deliberately, but they should have just posted the update and didn't include the original story, because if you read it wrong or you go through it too fast, you thinking, okay, no, he's still alive, he's still on life support. So why they saying he died? No, 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 no. This is taking. I don't know who posted this together like that, but they need to really do that properly. It's creating confusion, as I said. But hey, we need to wrap it up and go, because we got to prepare for ladies tonight. Don't forget, everybody, ladies night is on a new time. It's at 6 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So those of y'all on the East Coast, we'll see you at 6 o'clock Central Time, 5 o'clock. Let's see, and then there's 4 o'clock and Midwest and Pacific, California, Seattle area. I mean, all those areas on the West Coast. 3 o'clock. All right. Me and Abner, see y'all later tonight, y'all.
Okay. Peace,
Hmm.
power, unity.
Yes. Peace, power, and unity. And let's go out with some music.